Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today you guys, I thought it would be cool for us to do a get ready with me chit chat. Bae came to me like last week like you want to go out, like I want to take you out. So I'm like, where the heck is we supposed to be going during this time? Like, we are dealing with like so much craziness. So I wasn't gonna knock it as long as it was safe. And I have been seeing all over Instagram those igloos. Oh my God, when I say I've been so itching to go like date night. I think it's so cute that it's like isolated, but it's outside. So nice. So he found one. I didn't even know we had it around here. But of course he had to tell me. Typically he surprised me, but if he didn't tell me, there was no way I would have been ready to go when he came in. Like literally, I probably would have been in my scrubs, sitting at the table doing work all day. Like literally this whole entire lockdown, we have been workaholics and couch monsters. Like it's been crazy. So I'm so excited to get out the house and just have some fun, let our hair down and spend time with Bae. So I figured, I'm like, well, why not do a chit chat and you guys watch me get dressed and walk through or whatever. So to say the least, let's see what we're working with today. Today I am going to be going into the Morphe palette, and this is, what is this? Ring the Alarm. I have been itching to do another look from this set because I really like all of these colors, so I'm definitely going to be playing around with that today. I get distracted so easily, so if I don't put up everything that I'm using during this tutorial, then just look down in the description box below. I have everything there, I promise you. But just to stab right into it, in the past I have had so much experience with sometimes especially high school, not so pleasant experience with people. Naturally, I'm like a bubbly type of personality. I love to like just smile. I love positive people. Like anytime the environment is just uplifting and positive, like I soar so high in that type of atmosphere. Realistically, that's not always is going to be the case. So for this video, I just decided to talk about this topic because I think that if I had knew some of the things that I know now, like in my age bracket now, I probably would have been better off in life. But there's never too late. I think everything has its perfect time. And so why not, you know, talk about it? So first I am going to go into, what is this, Alert? And that is this color right here. And put that along my crease. But first I forgot to put on my base. I have to put my base on. And this is by P. Louise. And so anyway, in the past I have had like some good experiences with a lot of people. And like I said, I soar and like positive environment. So the more uplifting the environment is, oh my God, the better it is. Like it's easy for me to kind of like tap into my natural, you know, creativity, things that I like to do, you know, just positive things. But that's not always the case in life. Sometimes you're going to pop into environments, or you're going to be around environments that you can't really get from around, that the person or the individual you come across might not always be that pleasant. And in cases like that, like I'm not even gonna lie, when I was in high school, it was extremely hard for me because I couldn't understand. Like I used to have people say to me like, why are you so bubbly? Or why do you know, what's so smiley? What is so happy? Why do you gotta be so excited about stuff? And like as if that was a problem. Now don't get me wrong. The person that I am right now, I'm like, whoa, like I can identify now, like these people literally must have been going through something, because how would that be a problem to, especially now, the time that we in, like you want to be around people who kind of like pull you up, bring you up in sometimes some of the most inconvenient, some more worst cases. So it's like, why would that even be a problem? But the younger person I was at the time, I wasn't as firm and solid as I was now. Like I literally, if someone could say something or say things negative towards me, I used to take it in. And that's the worst thing you can do, is that when a person projects some of the issues that they got going on with them, they spill it out, you take it on as if that's your problem. I would go home and my mom would kind of see like a change in my personality. She'd be like, what is going on? Like, what's up with you? And I'd be like, Mom, like, I don't even want to talk about it. Da, da, da. So of course, my mom, being the Leo that she is, she's going to pull it out of you whether you like it or not. And she would be like, what's going on? So I would tell her the situation and she'd be like, first of all, and mind you, my entire family is like this out the gate. What type of friend is that anyway that get a joy out of making you feel like crap? Like, who does that? So she would tell me and let me know, like, no, you need to filter and pretty much don't take that in. That's how that person feel on the inside of them. That don't mean you go and change your personality because they feel that way. So long story short, at the moment, I still, you know, I went through that with that scenario, but then there was other things going up the road. I still came across this one thing. And I'm like, Lord, like I would pray about it. Like, I don't understand. Like, do I need to alter myself? Like, why do people get so offended? And then after a time, if you keep praying on something, he will almost kind of like show you it and kind of like bring to your awareness that people are out here really hurting. Like, there's no other way to explain it. Some people, we think that if you lucky, the person will express how they feel on the inside. And oftentimes that's not realistic. A lot of people could feel very hurt inside. They could be going through things. And the way they translate it is it just spills out. So they don't know why they feel the way they do. You show up excited, happy, your usual chitty box, you know, chitter box self, jolly, and it pushes a button for them because they maybe don't feel like that on the inside right now, like whatever reason. And you can, a lot of times you don't even know like what happened, like literally what is the story, the back line for why this person is the way that they are. You just don't know. And a lot of times people don't want to talk about it. But the one thing that they do is they kind of spread this this fountain of hurt on from one person to the next person. So I just made a decision that when I saw that and when I seen it up close and personal, that I just didn't want to be the person to keep spreading that. Even when I see a person go through that and they're sometimes very negative or they say something very, you know, off-putting, I instantly say, you know what, I'm just going to pray for the person. Hopefully they get help or, you know, heal whatever that wound is for why they're pulling from that fountain of pain, so that they won't go to the next person spreading the same thing. Because we want to, in 2021, we want to spread positivity, we want to spread love. We don't want to keep spreading negativity. And I do believe 100% what you sow, that is going to come back to you. So you definitely want to make a conscious awareness that whatever you say or however you use your mouthpiece is to edify and uplift one another. And so with that being said, I still was stuck at a road because, okay, Lord, now that I know that these people are hurting, it still don't stop the fact that it bothers me. Certain people bother me, not everybody bother me, because there's some people that you have not met, you don't even know them like that. So you be like, okay, whatever, they tripping. Let me go on about my business. But then there is some cases where you will have individuals that they're close to you. Now, thank God, in my immediate family, I don't experience that because they're all very positive. So they want the best no matter what. They always be like, if you around people like that, you need to shift the environment you in. Like, they will call it out right on the spot. But not everybody is fortunate to have that group of people around them. You sometimes have family members that will be very much so, you know, not in a very healthy manner the way they communicate because they are hurting inside, or whatever they dealt with or whoever did that to them, they're deflecting it out on you. And at that moment, I'm like, okay, well, Lord, what do I do with that? And many times, I don't know if it's from one too many times psychology classes and just understanding, trying to understand where this person's coming from, their back story for how they got like that. And sometimes you're not going to get the backstory. The person is just going to be who they are, and you have to make peace with it. But if it's throwing you off, and one thing I learned is if it's throwing me off that much that I end up being very snappy, or I'm kind of turning into them, they're pulling me, because either you're going to pull them or they're going to pull you. Point blank, period. If you find yourself turning into them and they're being very nasty, and now you saying some of the things that they're saying, or you just sad every time you're in a room with them or you have a conversation with them because they're spitting out these things, you become very sad, you need to create healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries could be, maybe I don't talk as much on the phone to them as what I used to, because I'm constantly taking it in. And be very clear, whatever you listen to often, whatever you watch often, that is what's going to spill out. If you're constantly witnessing and you're around and this is what your edification continue to be, is this person spewing the negativity, guess what? You're eventually going to feel that way. You're going to feel those vibes. Either you're going to kind of push against it, or you're going to end up, feeling the pain that they feel as well. So you have to put healthy boundaries so that in return, you won't turn into that hurt vessel as well and then start spreading it. We got to stop somewhere. So you continue to pray for the person, because again, that's not something easy. I don't know, all the ins and outs to anybody who ever, experienced this. If you guys have, please, please, please comment in the comment description below. And I would just love to hear your story, because there's been times where I have been on the other end. And I don't know, like I've tried talking to the person. I've tried to find, like what's going on, but not all the time people want to talk, and you just have to respect that. But what you do have in that moment, what you do have control over is how you take it in, and if it's bothering you, to create a space between, a healthy boundary space between you and that person, so it won't always overtake you as much. A lot of people don't get the same thing when we on the plane. They tell you all day, put on your air mask before you put on somebody else's. Why is that? Because they know, okay, if you get a shortness of breath and you pass out, you're no good to nobody, not even to yourself. So before you go in and think that, okay, I can handle this, I'll be able to, work through this with this person, be very careful, because that very thing that's snuck up on them can sneak up on you too. So just be very aware of that, cautious of that. These were the things I struggled all through high school and a little bit after high school. And now, knowing what I know, like, oh my God, I was like, yeah, no, maybe we need to talk about this, because people will walk through life and you only know by your experiences, and not everybody have great experience. Sometimes people really go through stuff, and that is what they mimic out. So then you taking on that baggage, when in all honesty, you have to look a little bit closer and understand that this person is coming from a very hurt place, and that they need prayer and hopefully seek help. By all means, therapy is not just for, the stigma is, it's for crazy people. No, people who just sometimes come across life that they don't understand, or they at a standstill. Sometimes you need to talk to somebody professional, and we all got mouthpieces, but the problem is we take everything that everybody say for core value. Some of these people, they all got mouthpieces, but you have to take what they say with a grain of salt. Don't let those things get into your heart, so that was one of the things that I learned throughout life, and it was not an easy test, let me tell you, at all. It was one of those things where I was kind of like, okay, I'm about to close off. And don't get me wrong, that's what the devil really wants you to do. Like, you made to be loving, you're made to be bubbly, you're supposed to spread that out, really reach individuals. The last thing you need to do, especially when you're a positive person, and sometimes not always an easy place, is to keep spreading that joy, keep spreading that love. Like, don't cut it off just because you feel like, okay, this person don't like it. That's what they're going through. Pray for them, wish them the best, don't judge them, because like you said, life sometimes throw you curveballs all the time, and you might, be in a situation one day where you have to combat the same thing. But don't take that on personally. Just understand that, like, okay, well, this person really don't even know me like that. They going through their own thing, and maybe we do need to have a little bit of boundaries there, but I don't need to take this on personally and then walk around cut off to everybody. Like, that is not the goal. That is not the move. A lot of people, whether you know it or not, you could be helping, and being quiet in that area when we already got enough hurt around the world. You could be shutting off, somebody's access to, understand, like, you could really help that person get through. So without further ado, I've been rambling so much. I need to actually get focused on this actual eyelid. So, but yeah, so in the future, always try to remember that not to take things so personal when you see people maybe in a bad mood or they're not always in the pleasantest atmosphere, because a lot of times people could, be used to experiencing that. And the last thing, like I said, I want to do is continue to spread that this person then probably already got enough of just being nasty, and so all they're going to do is just be more negative and positive if I come in and be like, okay, I'm about to, let me tell you something, and being extra like that. They just gonna come out and keep spitting more of that because that's what they're getting. So you don't want to do that. You want to kind of have more of a change, and we want to spread more of love and positivity. Again, everybody is not going to understand why it's important not to spread that type of thing. It took me a while to understand, like, even when people do that, like, don't combat it with more nastiness, until like I had to like really understand like that's how people kind of like operate the more they experience that. So I just was like, oh, okay, maybe the best route is to just, like you said, pray for that individual, hope that they somehow seek help for whatever the real issue is for why they tend to project that, because a lot of times they're not, and again, they're not going to say it. You're lucky if you got a relationship or a person that say, I operate like that, but I get that not everybody operate like that. Like if I'm going through something, I'll go straight to my mom, or I'll go to somebody who I can fight in and be like, well, I'm having this issue because this is really bugging me out. Some people don't do that. Some people just walk through life, and not really approaching it, because for them it's kind of sore to even try to approach whatever the issue is. And in return, they don't understand it's not going to magically go away. It's just you're going to get hit sometimes at the most inconvenient times, and those feelings is going to pop up. And so now you haven't dealt with them, so they're really magnified if you come across a person that maybe they got a relationship with somebody that maybe you don't have such a great relationship with, and now watching them in action, it makes you upset. You have to talk to somebody. I recommend professionally, about those issues, because you can say that it's not going to come up in life, but it is, and it's going to pop up in your relationships. It's going to show up in the most worst place with the people that you love, and you're going to be like, well, why the heck I keep stumbling on this one thing? Because you don't understand that this is something that you kind of, need to work through and work on. And that's what I'm about this year. I've always been this way, but I believe we all can be better people when we literally approach certain things that maybe we have an issue with, or maybe we don't understand. For me, it was like, okay, how do I navigate not letting those type of environments sink in me, like get in my heart and make me turn wax cold to where now I don't even want to talk to people. I don't even want to go around, because not everybody is like that. Like, just to be honest, no, I done ran across just as much sweet people, just as much as loving people as I have, people who had these issues. So, you can't do that. It's not fair. But the reality of the fact that I had to understand was I had to get over the point of being a people pleaser, if you will. Like, stop digging in that everybody ain't gonna like you. That's just point blank period. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? The end of the day, as long as the Lord love you, your family love you, and even sometimes certain family members, if they don't, okay, it's not the end of the world. Everybody is not going to like, there is probably over 50 jellies in the supermarket. Somebody tell you they don't like cranberry. Somebody might like blueberry. That's fine. That's just the reality of it. But at the end of the day, life goes on, and you don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. But guess what? You're somebody's cup of tea. And those are the people that, you reach out to. Those are the people that you embrace and you love on. And that's just the reality of it. So, yeah, I had to realize a thing in me of, girl, it's all right. Everybody ain't got to be, if they got a problem with it. And the reality that I had to come to is, you're sitting up here holding on to these people's feelings when in reality, or because they particularly got an issue with you because you're bubbly or you're smiling, but really the lens that they're looking at life through is kind of like a hurt lens as well. Like, so you can't go and take whatever this person is saying for core value because they're speaking of a place of hurt. They might actually do like you if they would get rid of all of that surface stuff and actually talk to somebody to help them heal. But they're not going to see it right now because right now it might be buttons that, you know, you might push. Maybe they feel like, well, what's she happy for? I don't feel like I'm happy right now. I'm going through stuff right now. And that is real. That's very real. You know, but they have to understand, instead of just sitting in those feelings, they have to go seek somebody to help them work through all these issues. And so, again, I am not a therapist, but I say all day long, I feel like if, you know, we have these experiences, we have these stories, this was my story, I think we can help each other a lot more if we were more transparent about some of the things that goes on in life. Like, it's not to be hidden. I didn't go through these things just to store it away. I went through these things to like help somebody else. I don't know if it's, you know, young people in high school, male or female, grown folks. You're not exempt from it just because you're grown. It's grown people, men and female, who still are struggling with this, where they're sitting from my end of the perspective. And then you got those who actually are sitting in the hurt, you know what I'm saying? So we have to be mature about these things. We have to create a dialogue to communicate, but make sure that you're talking to somebody professional. If you're sitting in like at a closed place that you just don't know what to do in these feelings. Like, I think the reason why it kind of escalates to bad places because we don't seek help before we get to the mental frustration, before we start acting out and doing things that's kind of like, you know, not healthy for us or anybody we come in contact with. So that's just that. And I know that's a little bit heavy for y'all, a little bit heavy for y'all, but I thought it was a much needed conversation that needed to be had. And I have a lot, like I have a niece who's going to be going to high school soon. I have a sister that I have, you know, the funny part is I've been through what she's been through. And now coming out on the other side, I get that I can't make her pop in her head to get this, to get what I'm trying to say. But I do understand where she's coming from. I have been there. And I think if I had a knew certain things that are early on, like, who knows, you know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't have, you know, let things linger or took on things as if something is wrong with me. No, nothing is absolutely wrong with you. You have done everything that you possibly could do by being, you know, light and loving or whatever. Keep doing that. We need more of that. So, absolutely. But we'll also have to realize that we live in a very, sometimes not positive environment. What we're dealing with right now is very much so, it's taxing on everybody. Like, you have to fight hard to stay positive in the situation we're in right now. And I encourage you to focus and, you know, think on those things that are good. You know, don't zero in on. I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, you get a whole bunch of people who say positive things, and then there's one person that say something, you're like, oh my God, why did they say that? Just, no, stop focusing on what these naysayers, all the negativity people say. They going through something themselves. You guys, I had to go ahead and do the other eye because this doggone eye was acting up so bad, and then the freaking camera cut off on me. Like, I give big kudos to people who do like the these walkthroughs, and all of the camera be acting up. Like, oh my God. But right now I am patting on Lolly out the same palette, and that is this one over here. So we put this one, Alert, in the crease. Then I went and put Framed and tapered that also, like, in the crease a little bit more. And now I'm over at Lolly, putting that after I cut the crease. But yes, it's so hard doing it when you trying to make sure you got everything chit chat and make sure that you're trying to you got everything placed in the right corner. But yeah, I'm so excited to get out the house. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even have a clue. I hope, like, oh my God, I hope to God that he got like a pasta restaurant or some seafood. Like, he know good and well my favorite places to go. Anything that got pasta and anything that got like seafood. So either or. Sometimes I do seafood to try to keep down on the carbs, because carbs ain't always good. Take in, like I get thick real quick eating carbs, so I have to like slow my roll. But I wouldn't be mad at it today, because we just ended up buying the elliptical, because we was like, if we're gonna keep on doing this, we need to we're gonna have to work out. And right now I'm still not completely 100% ready to go into the gym yet. I'm just trying to make sure and be safe. Then sorry. So whatever we do, we like do like workout tapes at home and of that type of sort. So I'm just like, we can't keep going on like this. So lately I pop up in the morning, do probably like 30 minutes elliptical, do my like weights or whatever, and then finish doing the rest of the stuff I gotta do for it's like work or fixing, cleaning up stuff around the house and of that sort. But when I say it is definitely, I could not go another second without incorporate some sort of workout. And it's cold right now, so typically we love to like ride our bikes, but because it's so cold out, you guys, like, that's not happening. I can't wait until it get back warm so that we can do that, but it's definitely not gonna happen, at least not right now. So yes, but I hope you guys are having a safe and good day. I hope you guys' day is going well. Mine is gonna get better as time go on, because I am definitely excited about getting my butt up and out the house. So I'm trying to see what's another color that I want to use. I need a lighter color to go on the end of this eye. I think I'm gonna use this brush. What is this, Morphe brush? Don't have a number to it, but I'm gonna use this to actually go into, what is that, number 2? Go back into Alert and put it on the end of my crease. We're gonna dab that right here, right next to here. I'm wearing an animal print today, so I think this eye look will go really pretty. I'm gonna show you guys before I close out of here, because this was not like really a full blown through makeup tutorial. If you guys want me to do like a real detailed makeup tutorial with this actual look, I could do that as well, but I knew I wouldn't be able to run through, because I already did my foundation before I got on here. So just let me know. But I know this would probably go really good with my print. So I'm going to show you guys what that looked like. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to show you guys what that looked like as soon as I get done with this, so you can guys see what I'm wearing tonight. So you guys can see what I'm wearing tonight on this date. Like, I cannot wait. If I can get this eye to look how I want it, that would be great. So I'm gonna finish up the other eye and buff out. I'm gonna finish out the other eye and buff out my lower lash line, and then I'll show you guys what I'm getting into. Yes, we getting there. I just need this to be bronzed out a little bit more. I need this to be feathered out a little bit more. We getting there. So I'm gonna dip back into Alert and kind of see if I can blend this out. a little bit more because it seemed like I got a little bit of blunt lines in here that I am not crazy about. Between both colors until it's blended out to your liking. Like I just dab back and forth until I don't see any harsh lines in the mix. But yes, I hope you guys like this chit chat and get ready with me. I'm still working on doing the eyelid while doing, because I get so distracted so fast. Like either I'm so zoomed in on the conversation or I'm zoomed in on the eye. So that's something I'm definitely gonna have to work on. But I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, pop on my lashes, and then I'll come back to you guys with what I'm wearing for the dates. And remember, going forward, you guys, try not to take things personal. People have a lot of things that they go through in the daily, and it does not make an excuse for people to just be nasty and outright cold. However, we take control of at the end of the day of how we feel, and we're gonna take back, you know, our peace and our happiness. Don't rely on anyone else to make you feel good or to be positive. You take it back for us. You know, lift yourself up, pat yourself on the back, you know, love on yourself and do the things that's necessary, because sometimes, you know, your people out here is not going to understand. They don't see it as often, and you know, hopefully one day they will, but for the most part, we're gonna take it back for us. And with everything that we're going through right now, I just want everybody to be encouraged and uplifted and kind of be lighthearted, so that, you know, we can be more help beneficial to the next person who might need the help. So yes, let me go ahead and finish up this face, this eye, and I will get back to you guys in a minute. Hi you guys, this is the end product. Let me scoot in some more because I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, so this is the end product. I just went over the same steps that I repeated to you guys earlier. In this palette, everything that I did to create this look, I'm going to have it in the description box below. I'm actually going to see if I need to put some more oil, because you can't never be enough hydrated in your hair. But this is the look. I hope you guys like this. If you guys want a full blown through run through, let me know. I would definitely be glad to do this with this particular look, but I ran out of time, and he looking at me like, where you supposed to be ready? So we're about to get going and head out. I'm still going to show you guys my outfit that I got on. I love animal print anyway. It looks so good on me. Like, I absolutely love it. And I think that this eye color will work so pretty, and it's going to look so good with this look. So stay tuned.